Hey everyone, it's Marty here with Smoke Free You. I'm happy to be here today. I'm just going to wait just a minute or so to see who all jumps on. When you jump on, if you could just give me a shout out just in the comments just to say hi, say if you can hear me. Let me know that you're there, and I'll just wait another minute or two for people to pop on. So hopefully you can hear me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And when you jump on, wherever you are, just say hello, and I'll say hi back, and we'll go ahead and get into this. So, like I said, I am Marty with Smoke Free You, and I want to talk to you today about a really big problem that you might be facing with quitting smoking or chew, and that is the fear of change. So the reason I want to talk about this is yesterday I was working with a client who had been carrying around my phone number, and she knew about me for 9 years. We've been acquaintances for 9 years. She's known that I could help her quit smoking for 9 years, and it took her that long to finally pick up the phone and call me and decide to work with me. So she's not the only one. I've had people come to me that they've been carrying my business card around in their pocket, or a friend of them gave them my name and told them about my program for 5, 6, and like this lady yesterday, 9 years. And you wonder why they do it. I mean, think about that. They've known for 9 years that there was a resource to help them out, yet they didn't do it. And think about what an additional 5 years, 6 years, 7 years of smoking had on their health and their quality of life, and just their confidence. So they knew 5 years ago they wanted to quit. They knew that there was someone out there who could help them. So why do you think they waited so long? Why do you think they waited so long to finally do something about it? Well, I'm going to tell you. They're going to say it's because they weren't ready yet. But really, what does being really ready mean anyway? Waiting for the right moment really keeps you stuck between wanting to quit smoking or chewing tobacco but putting off doing anything about it. It's not that you don't want to quit, because I know that you do, but the timing is just never quite right. You're researching new ways to quit that you haven't tried before. You're planning out how you're going to do it. You're waiting for just that right moment for it to happen. Maybe you set a date and then it comes by and something more important pops up in your life, so you put it off again. You just can't quite get there, so you tell yourself, well, I'm going to get there someday. And I do that too. There are things in my life that I want to accomplish. There's goals that I want to reach, but I've been stuck. There's things that I know that if I do them, they're going to just move me so far forward than anything else I've done, but I procrastinate. I find other things to do around it, or I'll do little things off to the side that make me feel like that I'm accomplishing something, but I'm really never getting quite close to the thing that I need to do to get me where I want to be. I'll be getting ready to do the same old thing over and over again, because I know that I just really, really want to do it. And so I heard recently, and it's so true, that the task that we are putting off doing the most is the thing that is the most important thing that we need to do in order to reach our goal. And I'm sad to say there are so many things that I have passed up and messed out of because I just could not bring myself to make that important step. So I gave up. And do you know why I couldn't face that task that was so important? It's probably the same thing that is preventing you from really jumping in on quitting smoking or chewing tobacco. And it's fear. That's plain it. It's plain and simple fear. And I know it sounds crazy. I mean, how could anyone be afraid of quitting smoking or quitting chewing tobacco? You've been wishing for this for a long time. In fact, you probably think you're more afraid of what might happen if you don't quit. But hear me out. Fear is a very, very powerful motivator. And you've probably heard that when you have to decide that the pain of what your current situation is gets so unbearable before you can make a change. And that's very true. An internal shift has to happen where staying where you are for just one more moment is going to feel like torture. We feel it when we change jobs, when we want to make a change to our eating habits. Oftentimes, it's changing our relationship. For many clients, that moment comes when they are diagnosed with lung cancer or COPD, or when they have to use an oxygen tank, when climbing a flight of stairs seems impossible. They understand that they can no longer stay where they are, and so they have to make a move. But there is another fear that they face, and that is the fear of change. This fear is just as strong, and it's actually even stronger. Fear of change, it's that big scary question mark. It's like they say that the devil you know is better than the devil that you don't. You know how you feel right now, and even though it's not so great, you're comfortable with it. So what does the absence of pain feel like? And it's that question mark that is keeping you stuck. And so I'm going to kind of compare this to maybe going out to dinner at a restaurant. So let's pretend that you live in a very small town where there's just one restaurant. And you've eaten there year after year for decades. You know the cook, you know the staff, the menu never changes. However, you've noticed that over the last few years, the place has really gone downhill. All the good people have left. The food just doesn't taste quite as good. Sometimes it's just plain gross even. The dining room is old and dirty, and sometimes the service is bad. But you keep going there because that's all you know. But then a new restaurant opens up in the next town over, and it's a different style of food that you've never really tried before, but you've heard good things about. However, you're not sure that it's good enough to make that far of a drive. And what if you don't like it? What if it's not good as everybody says that it is? Then you've wasted the time and the money and the gas to get there. It's probably just safer to stay in that old familiar place. And if you think about it, that might be kind of how you feel about smoking or chewing. It's just not as good as it used to be. And you're starting to feel like you should do something different, but you don't know what to expect from a life without it. And what if it's harder? What if it's not all it's cracked up to be? What if you really miss certain parts of it? Then you get to put all that time and money and effort into quitting. It's kind of scary, isn't it? I get it. I mean, you already know what a life of smoking or chewing tobacco, you know what that's like. And even though you may not enjoy it anymore, in fact, you may even actually hate it at times, there is comfort in what's familiar. And so although you really want to live a life free from smoking and tobacco, that fear of change is keeping you stuck. So now is the time I challenge you to get absolutely clear on what you want for the rest of your life. Where do you want to be 5, 10, even 20 years from now? And I know that it's sometimes not fun to think about, but there's a part of you that's really worried about what 5 or 10 or 20 more years of smoking or chew, what that's going to do to you. I mean, you could get lucky with your health, of course, but do you really want to spend all that time worrying about it? Do you really want to gamble your future and the future of your family on the fact that you won't get sick, getting lucky with smoking? I mean, what quality of life are you looking for? I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to ask you to ask yourself that. What quality of life? How do you want to live out the rest of your life? I've had people actually tell me that it wouldn't be so bad if smoking gets them, if they die, if in 10 years. I mean, death would be a very welcome end to the pain and sickness and all their worries. And that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But what about your loved ones? I want to ask you that. Do you want to put them through the worry and stress and pain of watching you get sick, to face life without you? And what kind of quality of life are you going to be living before you get to that step? And it's not fun to talk about, but I'm going to get real with you for a moment and ask you to think about that. You know, when we've been stuck in a bad situation for such a long period of time, it's kind of hard to wrap our minds around what it might be like to live a life out of it. Even though life without cigarettes or chew sounds wonderful, like a dream come true, it's also a little scary, especially if you've never experienced that before. And there's also a very big difference between getting excited about something amazing versus dreading giving up something that you've enjoyed for so long. So now it is more important than ever to get clear on the life that you want to live going forward. Start thinking about, I'm challenging you to start thinking about the best case scenario of what your life could be like if you got help with quitting and you were able to turn everything around. What do you want that life to look like? What do you want to feel? Do you want to give your body that sense of healing? Do you want to have energy to walk your dog? Do you want to see your grandchildren grow up and get married? And do you want to live life as fully as you possibly can so that when you take your very last breath, you know that you squeezed every last possible quality moment out of it? That's up to you. But today, to help you get started on that, to help you do that, I'm going to teach you a visualization trick that I just love. I love this trick. I use it whenever I want to shift my mindset towards a new way of thinking, because I do this too. There's stuff that I'm stuck in and I need to kind of get out of my comfort zone and think about what life would be if I had something different than I have now. And I call it the 60-second shift. And the reason I call it that is that when you get good at it, you can run through this exercise in less than a minute. And if you continue watching these videos with me, you're going to get very familiar with this technique because I'm going to keep coming back to it because it is just such a powerful tool to start shifting your mindset. So I'm going to explain it to you first, and then I'm going to walk you through it. So when you're walking through this, you'll know what to expect. So, by the way, if you want me to send you a message of the instructions on how to do this afterwards, just comment below with the word shift, SHIFT, and I'll send it to you in Messenger. I'll take you to where all the instructions are, and actually there's a recording of me going through this exact same step with you. But I'm going to go ahead and go through it with you now. So what I'm going to have you do in just a moment is I'm going to have you hold your eyes open for the count of 3, and those 3 are 3 deep breaths. So you're going to take 3 deep breaths with holding your eyes open. And on that 3rd exhale, you're going to close your eyes. And it's going to feel really good because you've had your eyes open all that time. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to ask you to just imagine relaxation washing over you and just kind of taking a moment to relax your muscles from your head down through the tips of your toes. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is once you've done that, is I'm going to ask you to get quiet inside and connect up to your heartbeat. And what that means is I just want you to take a moment and imagine that you can hear or sense or feel the rhythm of your own heartbeat. And then once you've done that, then I'm going to give you a phrase. It's a sentence. It's called an affirmation. And it's about imagining your life when you're what you're going to get excited about when you're no longer smoking or chewing tobacco. I'm going to ask you to repeat that sentence after me 3 times. And as you do, I want you to imagine with as many of your senses as possible what it feels like to get excited about your life free from tobacco. And then once you've done that, I'm going to have you open your eyes again. And that's all there is to it. But I promise you, it's a very, very powerful technique. The key is really allowing yourself to imagine and feel what it feels, what it's going to mean to you when you're no longer smoking or chewing tobacco. So with that being said, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hold your eyes open and take a deep breath in through the nose, thinking the word deep, and then exhaling now really forcefully, like you're blowing out a candle, and think the word now. Your eyes are still open, and you're going to take in another deep breath in through the nose. Deep. Exhale. Now, almost there. One more deep breath into the nose, deep. And now as you exhale, now you can close your eyes. And just notice how good it feels to close your eyes. And as you're closing your eyes, I want you to just imagine a wave of relaxation flowing through your body. Just let yourself relax. Just feeling relaxation, relaxing your muscles from the top of your head, down through your body, and out through the tips of your toes. All you're looking to do is just relax yourself a little bit. And then for good measure, just imagine another wave of relaxation, just pouring over you from the top of your head, down through your body, and out through the tips of your toes. And by now you should be feeling just a little bit more relaxed than just a moment ago. And now it's time to go inward, like I said, and just focus on your heartbeat. I'm going to sit quiet for just a moment while you Imagine yourself connecting with your heartbeat, the rhythm, or imagine you hear it or feel it. So I'm going to sit quietly for just a moment while you do that. And now hopefully you've connected with your heartbeat. Don't worry if you haven't, you'll practice this and you'll get it. But now that saying that you've connected with your heartbeat, now I want you to repeat after me, either out loud or in your head, the following sentence. And as you do, I want you to imagine yourself living your life as if this is true. And that sentence is, repeat after me, I feel excited when I think about living my life tobacco-free. What does excitement feel like for you? Excited about being free from smoking and chew. I feel excited when I think about living life tobacco-free. I feel excited when I think about living my life tobacco-free. Just let yourself feel excited and think about it. What are you doing? What are you feeling? What's different in your life? What does excitement feel like for you? Just let yourself imagine that. And then once you've done that, you can open your eyes. That's all there is to it. So, your challenge for the next 7 days or so is to practice this technique just like we did it. Again, if you want me to send you the instructions, I have a link to my website with them written out, plus a little recording that'll take you through this. Just put the word shift, S-H-I-F-T, in the comments, and I'll send those to you, and you can practice it. And the more you practice it, the better you get at it. All right, so that's it for today. So I wanted to say one more time, if you're sick of smoking or chewing tobacco, but you just can't give it up, and if you feel like you've tried everything to help you quit, but nothing works, then get on the call and book a strategy session with me. I'm a nice person, get on one-on-one with me. Once we get on this call, I'll help you get started on the powerful journey towards quitting. I'll help you get your mind kind of wrapped around what life can be like without smoking or tobacco. We just touched on it here, but I'll take you through more intensively so that you can do that. And we'll create a roadmap of how to get there and identify what obstacles have been standing in your way so that you know where to start. I can't stress enough that the problem here isn't that you're doing anything wrong. I know society is trying to tell you that, you're wrong if you're still smoking. And that is not true. You're not doing anything wrong, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's not that you don't have any willpower. It's not that you're weak or that it's not important to you or any of that. All that you're missing is that you haven't shifted from the mindset of a smoker to one of a non-smoker. Until you can make that shift, it's going to be really hard to quit, but you can make that shift. And you probably have no idea where to begin, and that is where this call comes in. And so the first thing I'm going to address on the call is what it means. We'll talk you through what it means to be completely tobacco-free, and you're starting to get excited just by this activity you just did, and we can talk about that. And then once we get that excitement going, then we'll uncover what mindset roadblocks have been standing in your way all this time. Understanding these obstacles is key to overcoming them, and you can't change what you can't acknowledge. And you probably can start feeling it bubbling under the surface right now as I'm talking to you, but you haven't been able to put words to it yet. So this call will give you the chance to understand what those obstacles are so that we can look at them in the light of day and decide if they're really more important than that life that you're excited about once you're tobacco free. And so the next step is going to be breaking past those obstacles. And it's one thing to know what they are, and it's another thing to break through them. And so the Smoke Free You program, I hold your hand. I guide you step by step, every step of the way to get through these obstacles. I'm not just sending you on your own, telling you what to do. I'm there with you, guiding you every step of the way. We're going to create some neural pathways to break up those old connections and all that good stuff so that you can create new pathways that align with a life free from tobacco. So if I think on that call that you would benefit from this program, and not everybody does, but if I feel like you'd be a good fit, I will invite you into the program so that we can fast track all of that, breaking past those obstacles so that you can. Hey, Penny, I'm so glad you're here. Very, very glad you're here. Welcome. like I said, we can get started right away. But even if you're not a good fit, you're still well on your way to success at quitting tobacco. So you'll have some new excitement around what you're trying to do. So if you're feeling stuck, take a deep breath, send me a message, and get yourself on a call with me. This action alone is a wonderful, great start towards getting unstuck. Getting on a strategy call will get you moving toward that tobacco-free life that you've been wishing for. And all you have to do is go to members on this page and send me a message directly, or you can go to the Smoke For You page and book a call there. Penny, I went through this wonderful exercise on talking about getting the fear of change, and how you can sometimes we get so comfortable where we are that even though we want to make a change such as quitting smoking or tobacco, it seems a little scary to imagine your life without it. So I went through this exercise with you, and you watch it on the replay, that can help you do that. And also, once again, for anybody who wants the written instructions or the recording of me walking you through that, so you don't have to watch this whole video today, just type the word SHIFT, SHIFT, in the comments, and I'll get that over to you. All right, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching in the replay, thank you so much. Please reach out, send me a message if you have any questions, or if you do, as you're going through the exercise I taught today. We're going to keep coming back to that exercise to start helping you shift your mindset as well on different topics. So very good. Thank you so much. And I will, like I said, I'm going to make this more regular thing. I got sick last week and my family was sick, so I kind of got off schedule, but going forward, that's going to, I'm going to be trying to get these out at least once a week, if not more. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Good luck, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.